guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, welcome. I'm Michelle and I hope that you're going to enjoy all the personal development content that comes onto this channel. So today we're talking a little bit about trusting yourself. How do you begin to trust yourself? But first things first, how do you know that you actually are lacking internal trust? Now there's something that I posted on my Instagram stories that I'd like you to have a look at right now before we begin this video. So here goes. Hi guys, so I have a word for you today, and that is trust. Majority of the time we are caught up trusting other people's abilities and trusting that other people can and we cannot. And today I just want you to start trusting yourself. Trust in your abilities, trust in the fact that you can, trust in all the gifts that have been placed in you, trust in the God that lives in you, and trust in every single thing that you want to do. And I want you to look at yourself and realize that you can, you are able, and you have been to take that action. Trust yourself enough to actually go for your dreams, and trust yourself enough to believe that you can do it, and trust yourself enough to believe that if not you, then who? Now that you've caught up with that word, let's definitely get into it. So one of the things that I've picked up with a lot of DMs and a number of people that I talk to is the fact that, Mish, I am not like them. I don't think I'm capable. I don't have the right followers. There's just so many excuses why sometimes we are unable to act. And as I was really giving this a deep thought, trying to figure out how do we actually move from that point, I realized that we need to get to a point where we need to trust ourselves. But in the beginning, how does that inability to not trust yourself actually come? Because when it does come, it will take hold of you. It will really get you to a position where you feel like you can't. So for instance, I could have stopped starting my YouTube channel because I didn't have enough Instagram followers when I started, or probably I don't have Instagram followers when I started. And I'm just like, I'm not going to be able to do it, mainly because I don't, but I did start anyway, mainly because I trusted in the ability and I trusted in the things that I definitely wanted to bring onto my audience. Now, because trusting yourself is such a big thing and it's a huge factor to enable you to start taking action, we need to look at what causes that inability to trust yourself. And one of the biggest things that I have realized is that sometimes we don't trust ourselves because we don't know ourselves. So here's an example. If you had to meet a stranger, and I mean a stranger, somebody you've never heard of, you've never seen, you don't even know, and I had to ask you if you trust that stranger just off meeting them today, just seeing them right now, would you say yes? Most probably no. You are going to say you don't trust them. Why? Because you do not know that person. And that's generally how life is. We do not trust people that we do not know. So why don't you trust yourself? It's because you do not know yourself. And I want you to think about that very deeply, because it is such a big thing and it's such a powerful thing that once you get right and once you get yourself to that point, you would be able to actually conquer that. Now realize this, the fact that you don't know yourself means that you need to start beginning a journey. And I've said this multiple times on majority of the videos that we do here, that knowing yourself and discovering yourself becomes such a journey that only you can take. But once you begin that journey, you would be able to know who you are, and you are able to know that I have got every single thing that I need within me to execute these goals and these ideas. But one of the things you need to realize when you are moving forward with trusting yourself is you need to trust the God in you. And trusting the God in you means that you know who is the God in you, and that God in you will begin to reveal the Michelle and the person that is actually within you. Now, it is also important to realize that knowing yourself at majority of the time is not always about accepting me for who I am. It's not always about I am like this, I'm like this, I get irritated when this happens, and that's just who I am. No, knowing yourself and going through a point of self-discovery is actually nitpicking every single part of you and realizing what needs fixing and what needs to stay. And whatever needs fixing, you start being aggressive about those things you need to fix, because unless you fix those things, you're actually not going to be the maximum you that you have to be. I mean, we say this all the time, and I've said this to you guys multiple times on majority of my social media platforms, and I have said that the person that you are today is not the person that is going to carry the vision. The person that you are today is not the person that's going to be the millionaire, the businesswoman, or whatever it is that you are foreseeing within your future. The person that you are today and the person that you are meant to be are two different people, sometimes worlds apart, sometimes almost there, but you need to be able to commit to doing the work, to moving towards that person that you definitely want to be towards the future. Now, how do we start moving towards being that person? We need to start having, first of all, important and honest conversations about ourselves. When you sit down, you need to stop lying to yourself, because we do this all the time. We tell ourselves what others tell us. So if others tell us that we are brilliant in something that we know that we could improve on, we really just look at it and be like, cool. If others think we're brilliant, we are brilliant. But honestly, are you truly having that honest conversation with yourself? And that's the first thing. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do to begin having this important conversation with yourself. Grab your notebook, whatever it is. You can do it right after this video, but grab a piece of paper and divide it into two. Once you've divided that piece of paper into two, on your left hand side, you are going to write everything about you that you know. So your qualities and your character qualities. And you're going to be so honest about yourself. If you're manipulative, put it right there. If you sometimes lie a little bit, put it right there. If you sometimes are short-tempered, put it right there and write all these things. And guys, this also means the good stuff as well. Are you a generous person? Are you somebody that is generally more driven? Whatever it is, put it on the left side. And then on the right, I want you to list the qualities of the person that you want to become, the person that you foresee yourself becoming. Sometimes it could generally be the opposite of what you've written on the left, but I want you to have these two together. And as you begin to write these two things down, start pondering about how do you begin to transition from this person or from this character to that character. Do you need to find a book to help you to be more, to manage your time a little bit more, or to not be so short fused? Do you need a sermon? Do you need prayers? Whatever it is, do you need to watch a couple of YouTube videos to learn how to be a certain way, to learn to develop a certain character? But once you begin to be honest with yourself from this point, it's only then you are able to move from the next point, because you know what you truly need to work on. And majority of the time we do ourselves such an injustice because we're so caught up on what others think about us, what others actually say about us, more than when we sit down, do we have the important conversations with ourselves? Do we sit down and we say, you know what, you actually lied and that wasn't okay, you need to fix that next time? Majority of the time we don't, and that's why we remain in the same position all the time. So this video today is really just an encouragement for you to move forward, to start sitting down and start having honest conversations with yourself and start knowing yourself. And you will see how the trust, the internal trust that you need to start to work on, will actually start springing up bit by bit. It will not be 100%, but you wake up tomorrow morning with the 10%, you'll wake up tomorrow morning with the 15%, the next week with the 25%, and you'll constantly be working on it because you are honest with yourself. You know that if I do A, B, C, D, the person that I am right now might react like this, so I'm not going to do it, mainly because I am still a work in progress. There are certain things in your life that you will have to actually not do right now, even if you want to, mainly because the person that you are right now might not be able to handle those things. And I mean, we talk about this all the time, that's how God works with us sometimes. Sometimes when he knows that we still need to develop, there are certain doors that he's not going to open for us in our lives, because he knows that we're going to ruin them. He knows that we are going to destroy them unless we begin to do the work. So how do we begin to do the work? We actually start remaining consistent, and we actually start having those conversations and honest conversations with ourselves. So this is just an encouragement video. You guys know how we do it over here. Let me know on the comment section below if you've struggled with this certain thing, and have you worked on trusting yourself, and how far are you, and what else do you struggle with? You guys know that in this community we really talk about all these issues and all these problems, and once we've spoken about them, our biggest thing is to find solutions and to commit to making them better people. Because guys, I don't know about you, but for me, end of the day, all the things that I wrote down for 2020, I need them to happen, or I need a little bit more than that to happen irregardless. Because guys, I serve a God who's not subjected to time. You know, we serve a God who's not subjected to diseases, who's not subjected to the economy, and that is the God I trust, that is within me and that is around this world, that I believe that he is going to be able to make all those things work together for my good. Now, I hope that from this video you are going to do that list that I told you about, and you are going to begin to actually go through that journey of discovering yourself and of having really truly honest conversations about yourself. Also, look at what the feedback you've gotten from other people has been. You know, there are people that you love in your life that you've had several fights with every now and then. Sit down and kind of figure out what has been their biggest issues with you. Is it the fact that you're not so committed? Is it the fact that you're short-tempered? Note that as well, and take that as constructive criticism and as guidance for you to begin to have those honest conversations with yourself. So with all of that said, I hope that this video was super fruitful for you, and I hope that you are going to take action, because this is exactly what we talk about on this channel. Now, I hope that you also enjoyed this video. Again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, and share this video. Let me know in the comment section below what are the things you're struggling with, and if you've struggled with the same thing, and how we can actually move past that, because we are all about finding solutions to help you take action. So have yourself an awesome one. I will see you guys next time. Bye.